Today is January the 28th, and this is video 26 because I'm 2 days behind now. Doesn't matter. I didn't manage to do 2 videos today. We'll see how it goes. So I had my drawing class today, and I'm doing this fantasy course, dragons, fairies, whatever. And we were supposed to do well, there were different prompts, but one of them was to do a sign for an inn, for a tavern, and I called mine the Moon Raven. And so I got some good feedback, and I wanted to share this with you. That looks a bit unclear. No, it's okay. So I actually did this with watercolors. And I thought nobody talks about how frustrating and shameful you can feel when you're doing something, because it looked nothing like I expected. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me lift this up a bit more. So in the end, I drew over with my coloring pencils because it was absolutely horrendous. And while I was drawing with the watercolors, and it just didn't look like in my mind, there were a lot of feelings of shame and humiliation triggered, and it's supposed to be relaxing art. And I thought, why does nobody ever talks about how hard it is to start? And I'm not used to draw with watercolors. And if you have experienced humiliation and people laughing at you when you were a child, I had a physical sensation. It was really weird. It was such an uncomfortable feeling to keep going. And of course we give up because our brain says, well, why should I keep going if this is so uncomfortable? Why don't I just go on Facebook and scroll there or do something else? I cannot really explain what I felt, but if you ever start being creative and then you get really frustrated, the only reason why I continued, and I'm okay with it, how it looks like now, because I rescued it with the colors, is because I sat in a class. I was online, but still, and the teacher was so lovely and so encouraging. So he said, for example, we learned the rule of third today, and I show you. I did some notes on the other side, so draw that a bit bigger. So if you want to draw your landscape, for example, you might have heard of the rule of third for photography. So what you would do, for example, if you want to have a house, you would do the house in the 2/3 and have like the foreground here, and then the background you would have that here. Like when in photography you can see that people they wouldn't have their face in front of the camera, it's a bit offset. So you draw the grid, and then you have the rule of third. He also suggested, this is, if you see, this is how big the pencil is, to draw bigger, because to draw so small is more difficult. Then he said you could just start with making a few sketches, different trees, the raven in different positions, or compositions. So the relationship between the tree and the raven, and then the raven could be flying in one sketch or could be just sitting on a branch. Here is the words. It's probably a bit difficult to read, but it's the Moon Raven, so that's the name of the tavern I try to think of. And instead of just writing them down, try out different typography. So what I really liked with his encouragement was about experimenting. Um, I think one of my experience as a child, I was explained something once or shown once, and then I was expected to do it right, and of course I wouldn't. And then I would either the person would be really angry and I would be punished, or they would laugh at me because I couldn't do it. So when I was painting today and the things were just like not going well, um, it triggered this again, and it was really difficult to continue. And so I don't even, I'm not even sure what I tried to explain, but I would just encourage anybody to keep going. But I tell you, it was really difficult not to throw this in the bin. And I'm not saying this, I'm happy with this now, you know. I'm not fishing for compliments or yeah, I like the way it looks like now with the pencils, but it was really difficult not to give up. Um, and when we see other people who are really good artists, I don't know, I'll never go and look for their first videos. We just can't get any better. And I don't know how they started, what their squiggles in the beginning looked like, but it's really bad to compare yourself with other people and what they can accomplish. And we just have to go through these phases and these emotions. And other people might not have these problems, you know, they might have been encouraged from the beginning. And for them, it's just okay to try and fail. That feeling of failing just means they find out how not to do something, but it doesn't trigger any negative feelings in them. Where in me, it triggers my trauma response and my memories of trauma. And I can just really encourage you to just keep going and not self-loathe and punish yourself, and just keep trying. And I'm not a complete beginner in drawing, so if your stuff doesn't even look like this, it's like, yeah, just try, keep trying, because we can never, you know, if I keep scrolling on Facebook instead of drawing and sharing, I will never get better. But really, nobody really talks about these feelings of frustrations and shame when you start anything, really. Um, and in the end, I survived. You know, it's like that feeling of feeling uncomfortable is not the truth. It's not a sign you should stop. It's just a sign that you're not used to allowing yourself to make mistakes and try things out that don't look like what you expected. So I hope you have been able to be creative today, and if not, let that be okay with you. And try again tomorrow. And I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.